IIT, but if you understand the concepts, கொஞ்சம் நம்ம கான்செப்ட் கொஞ்சம் ட்ரிக்கியா இருக்கும், இல்லை 2-3 கான்செப்டை சைமல்டேனியஸாக அப்ளை பண்ண வேண்டியிருக்கும் ஐஐடி கொஸ்டின்ஸில், அவ்வளோதான். ஸோ இஃப் யூ ஃபாலோ த கிளாஸஸ் ப்ராப்பர்லி யூ கேன் ஈஸிலி கிளியர் ஐஐடி, கேன் கெட் ரீசனபிளி குட் மார்க். ஓகே, பட் அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் நீங்கள் உங்கள் கிளாஸில் நல்லா அப்சர்வ் பண்ணணும், அண்ட் உங்கள் புக்கில் இருக்கிற ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ்லாம் நீங்கள் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணணும். அதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த ஜேஇ இதுக்கு வந்தீங்கன்னா இதில் கொஞ்சம் டஃபரான ப்ராப்ளத்தையும் நம்ம அட்டெம்ப்ட் பண்ணுவோம். Okay, so then at that time you can clarify all your doubts with respect to the concepts. So நல்லா நீங்க அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா இது ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது, ஈஸியா நம்ம கிளியர் பண்ணிடலாம். So there is nothing to worry or fear. Okay, இது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. சரியா? Okay, let's get started now. I hope it's clear, right, Tejaswini?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, இன்னைக்கு இப்போ நம்ம permutations and combinations problems பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். Last week we did some problems. So what I do is, instead of doing straight away problems from IIT, JEE, past JEE லேருந்து எடுத்து கொஸ்டின்ஸ் எடுத்து நம்ம போடுறது தான். That is what I think will benefit you most, so that you get a feel of what IIT JEE questions are like. But அது கொஞ்சம் உங்களுக்கு டஃப்பாக இருக்கிறதுனால, ஸோ வாட் ஐ எம் டூயிங் நவ் இஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டேக் சம் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் யுவர் டெக்ஸ்ட் புக், ஃப்ரம் த மல்டிபிள் சாய்ஸ் கொஸ்டின்ஸ். ஸோ தே ஆர் ரீசனபிளி ஆஃப் குட் லெவல். ஸோ நீங்கள் அந்த எண்டில் இருக்கும், இப்போ பெர்முடேஷன் காம்பினேஷன் அதோட லாஸ்ட் எண்டில் தே ஆர் கிவன் மல்டிபிள் சாய்ஸ் கொஸ்டின்ஸ். ஸோ அதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எடுத்து நம்ம போட்டுட்ருக்கோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த தடவை some people wanted some questions from NCERT book also. அதனால இந்த தடவை I have added some questions from NCERT book also. அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம next stage we will go to some problems from the previous IIT question paper. Okay, so in that way, the problems from your state board multiple choice questions, we started permutations and combinations last week. Okay, ஸோ அதில் வந்து அந்த எக்ஸசைஸ்லேருந்து ஒரு I think 25 questions are there. We finished up to 14. So we are going to continue from that. Okay, so that's why you are seeing number 15 to start with. Okay. Okay, so question number 15, what it says is that if 10 lines are drawn in a plane such that no 2 of them are parallel and no 3 are concurrent, then the total number of points of intersection. So how many points of intersection are there? This is a very straight question. Can somebody attempt it? Akshay Ilampurnam. Hi, Akshaya. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Akshaya. Good evening. Right. Yeah. So we are at question number 15. If 10 lines are drawn in a plane such that no 2 of them are parallel and no 3 are concurrent, then the total number of points of intersection எவ்வளவு இருக்கும்? So suppose you draw 2 lines, how many intersections will be there?
One, sir.
One intersection. 2 lines, you will have 1 intersection. So there are 3 lines, then how many intersections will be there? You can start thinking slow, from the simpler problems, then you can understand, what if there are 10 lines. So there are 3 lines, then how many intersections will be there?
2 intersections.
2, sir.
2 intersections. So just try to draw 3 lines and see எவ்வளவு இடத்துல intersect பண்ணுது என்ன?
Sir, it may also have a common intersection point, sir.
There is no common intersection point. That is what is given. So there is no no three lines are concurrent அப்படின்னு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க இல்லையா? So common intersection point கிடையாது. Okay, so in that case, suppose there are three lines, how many points of intersection are there?
So if the lines are the plane, sir, then how the intersection, sir?
They are in the
Parallel
same
plane.
plane. Okay, all these three lines are in the same plane.
Then
If
how
they are in
intersection,
different, they will definitely intersect with each other if it is the same plane. If they are in different planes, they may not intersect at all. So அதனால தான் இப்படி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க in a plane அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, the same plane அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். I will give you a link. Yeah, 1 minute. Just to show. I have put a link in the chat. Okay, so அதை யூஸ் பண்ணா it opens a Jamboard, so you can try to work it out and show to me how you are doing. Okay, so everybody will have access to that Jamboard, so you can go to the board, and if you want to write something or draw something, you can do that. Okay, okay. Anyway, so யாருக்காவது வந்துச்சா? இப்போ 3 lines கட் பண்ணா எவ்வளவு பாயிண்ட்ஸ் வருது? See, there are 2 lines are intersecting, there is only 1 point. 1 minute. Are you able to see the screen, and are you able to access the Jamboard?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so in the screen I am drawing. Okay, so if there are 2 lines, there is 1 point of intersection. If there are 3 lines, okay, so they are not parallel and they are not concurrent. அப்படினா இந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். So there are, you see, one intersection point for every 2 lines. So line 1, line 2, இது line 3 அப்படின்னு வச்சுட்டாக்க. So this is intersection of point lines 1 and 2 க்கு ஒரு பாயிண்ட் இருக்கு, அதே மாதிரி 2 and 3, அதே மாதிரி 3 and 1. So every 2 lines there is 1 point. So that is the point here. So you can go on extending this logic in this way. So if there are 10 lines, இதே மாதிரி if you crisscross and draw 10 lines, so how many points of intersection will come? So every 2 lines, there is going to be 1 point of intersection. So in how many ways we can choose 2 lines from 10? உங்களுக்கு நடத்திட்டாங்க இல்லையா permutations and combinations? There are 10 lines and you have to pick any 2 of them. So how many combinations you can make? So for each of those combinations, there is going to be 1 point of intersection. Okay. So
5, sir.
yeah, so basically what this means is from 10 lines you have to choose 2 lines, and how many ways you can choose 2 lines? So
5.
that is
45.
45. That we call as 10C2. Okay, 10C2. Okay, combination of 2 from 10. Okay, how many combinations of 2 you can make out of 10? So formula for this is 10C2 is NC2 is NCR equal to n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. Okay. So that means here 10C2 will be 10 into 9 divided by 2 factorial. Okay. Because out of 10 factorial and கீழே ஒரு 8 factorial n minus r போட்டோன்னா 8 factorial வரும் இல்லையா? இப்போ இங்கே 8 அதெல்லாம் நான் போடல, ஏன்னா it is same as இங்கே 8 factorial. So this will get cancelled with this. This way the 10 into 9 and this 2 factorial will remain. So அதனால 10c2 அப்படிங்கும்போது இது மாதிரி குவிக்காக போட்டுடலாம். 10 into 9 divided by 2 factorial அப்படின்னு. 10 இது வந்து 10 minus 1. So 10c3 அப்படின்னா 10 into 9 into 8 divided by 3 factorial போடணும். So that is why this is 10 into 9, 2 factorial is 2, 45. Your option number 1. Okay, this is a similar question. So in a plane, there are 10 points, out of which 4 points are collinear. Okay, then the number of triangles formed is how many? So to form a triangle, how many points do you need?
3, sir.
3, sir.
3 points. So you pick any 3 points out of those 10, you can form one triangle, right? So that means this problem reduces to, how many ways you can pick up 3 points out of 10. And how many is that?
But it's given 4 of them are on the same line, sir.
Yes. This is our next problem. This has got 2 sub problems. First, you find out of from 10 points how many triangles you can form. Okay, out of which 4 points are collinear. So collinear எப்படி இருக்குன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க.
Sir, 120, sir.
Wait. We'll come to that. If there are these 4 points are for collinear, okay. So from this, if you take 3 points, can you form a triangle?
No, sir.
Collinear means they are in the
No, sir.
So any 3 points you pick up out of these 4, they won't form a triangle because they are collinear. So that we must exclude. So, but rest of the points when we pick up, it will form a triangle. Okay. So out of so totally how many ways in which you can choose 3 points from 10? 10c3. So any 3 points if you choose, so long as they are not collinear, it will be a triangle. Okay. Only when they are collinear. So எவ்வளவு collinear எவ்வளவு வரும்? இந்த 4ல 3 இது 3 எடுத்தாலும் collinear வரும். அதே மாதிரி this and this. So in the out of this 4, how many ever combinations of 3 you can make, they will all be collinear. So how many such combinations you can make?
About 12, sir.
Yeah, that is 4c3. From the 4 points, if you pick 3 points, that you can do in 4c3 ways. So they will not form triangle. Okay, they will only form a straight line. Out of this total 10c3, only this 4c3 will not form triangle. The remaining all such combinations are going to form the triangle. So your answer is 10c3 minus 4c3. So which is, you can calculate. This is your 10c3. 10 into 9 into 8 divided by 3 factorial. 3 factorial is 6. அதே மாதிரி 4c3. இப்படி 4c3 அப்படின்னு வந்துச்சுன்னா you can simplify it.
116, sir.
Correct. That is the correct answer. 4c3 is equal to 4c1. அதனால இது வெறும் 4 அப்படின்னு வந்துரும். So this is 10 into 9 into 8 by 6. I am simplifying it. 3 and 2. So 10 into 3 into 4 remains. That is 120. Out of which 4 will not form triangle because they are collinear. Balance is 160. Okay. So did you all follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now let's do this problem. If 2nC3 is to nC3 is equal to 11 is to 1, then n is what? It is an algebraic equation that we have to solve. So what is the formula for 2nC3? (2n factorial), write down the formula, okay, divided by
2n minus r factorial.
correct. Here r is 3, yeah, so that is 3n minus 3 factorial into r factorial. Okay. This the ratio we can take.
So we write this form into the divide form, sir.
Sorry. You can divide, okay, this first term by second term you can divide, instead of that is 2 is same as dividing, okay. So the ratio, it is direct ratio, so this by this equal to 11, okay. So how can we divide 2n factorial by 2n minus 3 factorial equal divided by நம்ம into போட்டு we can put it the other way, n minus 3 factorial 3 factorial divided by n factorial by 1, so equal to 11 வந்துரும், okay. So இதுக்கு அப்புறம் எப்படி இதை simplify பண்ணலாம்?
3 factorial cancel, sir.
Correct, good. So 3 factorial we cancel out, okay. அப்புறம் this we can cancel out also and write 2n into 2n minus 1 into 2n minus 2, because after that 2n minus 3 up to 1, so that is same as 2n minus 3 factorial, okay. So like we write only the three terms, 2n minus 1 and 2n minus 2, because 2nC3 அப்படிங்கறனால we write only C3. அதே மாதிரி இங்க ஒன்றும் அது மாதிரி இல்லை இல்லையா, n minus இது மாதிரி இதையும் பண்ணலாம், n minus 3 and n, you will get the same thing, n minus 1 n minus 2. So இந்த ஃபேக்டோரியல் இதெல்லாம் நம்ம எப்படி கிராஸ் அவுட் பண்றதுங்கிறது கொஞ்சம் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம் நீங்க, okay, because n minus 3 factorial divided by n factorial is just, instead of n factorial we can cut out n by n minus 3 factorial, what will remain is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2, okay. So if this is what remains, so you can again still do some simplification here. (2n into 2n minus 1 into), so this one I can write as n into n minus 1, 2 into n minus 1, right? So 2n minus 2 I can write as 2 into n minus 1. Now some things get simplified. This n minus 1 gets simplified. This is equal to 11, right? Again, one n gets simplified. So now what remains is
4 into 2n minus 1.
correct. 4 into 2n minus 1 divided by n minus 2 தான் இருக்கு கீழே, equal to 11. So this is a simple equation. So 8n minus 4 equal to 11n minus 22. So I'm taking n there to the right side. So 3n equal to 22. When it comes here, it becomes plus 22.
n is equal to 6, sir.
Very good. N is equal to 6. Okay. So it's option 2. Okay. If anybody did not follow, please raise your hand and tell me. Okay. So important thing is just not the answer, the understanding how to do the problems. Okay. Okay. So this problem, n minus 1 CR plus n minus 1 CR minus 1. So do it in the same way. All of you, I suggest that you can try it. Write down the formulas, simply add them and see what you get. Actually, there is a identity like this in your book. So if you use it, you'll straight away, it is like ticking it off. But in case you don't remember that identity or a theorem, whatever, it's there in your book. It's a formula is given for this. But it is not necessary that you should remember or mug up that identity also. So you can simply write the formula and add up, and in a few steps you will get the answer. So please try that. Able to progress. Do anything? What is plus 1 CR? Maybe n minus 1, n minus r factorial into r factorial. So you simply put, instead of n, you put n plus 1. Sorry, minus 1, right? Okay. So this is n minus 1 factorial divided by n minus 1 minus r factorial. And let me write the other one, n minus 1 c r minus 1. What is that? That will again be n minus 1 factorial divided by n minus 1 minus r minus 1 into r minus 1 factorial. Okay. So now let us add the two. You can see what happens. What do we get? N minus 1 factorial divided by n minus 1 minus r factorial plus, wait, minus 1 CR, so r factorial. plus minus 1 factorial divided by, so this becomes n minus 1 minus r plus 1. So this minus 1 and plus 1 will get cancelled. So what remains is only n minus r factorial. Now, how do you add two fractions like this? We take the LCM. Can somebody tell me what is the LCM for these two denominators? See, what you have to do is this, take this n minus 1 minus r and n minus r factorials. So which is bigger?
n minus 1 minus r factorial r factorial.
No, I am taking two similar terms. So n minus 1 minus r nu one irukku, n minus r nu irukku. Idu rendu eduthundaaka. So what is the, which is bigger out of the two?
N minus R, sir.
N minus r. Because this is n minus r factorial. This is n minus r minus 1 factorial. So adanal this is the bigger one, n minus r factorial. It is simply n minus r minus 1 factorial into n minus r. So adanal inga namba n minus r factorial அப்படினு ஒரு term போட்டுக்கலாம் LCM ல. Okay, because this will divide both. அதே மாதிரி r factorial and r minus 1 factorial க்கு what will be the LCM? So we are bigger of the two, we have to put as LCM. So which is that? The bigger is r, right? R factorial, right? Because this is r minus 1 factorial into r is r factorial. Okay, so either koncham neenga practice pannikanum. So this kind of simplification of factorials. Okay, so once you do this, இப்போ n minus r factorial into r factorial divided by this n minus 1 minus r factorial into r factorial. That's how you do, yeah, when you add two fractions. So here, because this r factorial will get cancelled, and here only n minus r will remain. So adnala this first term is n minus r into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, simply doing like a normal fraction addition. Okay, so the adhe mari in the second term edutittingana, so n minus r will get cancelled. Your r and r minus 1, what will remain is just an r. Okay, இப்போ இந்த நியூமரேட்டர்ல இருக்கிற ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் காமன் இருக்கு, n minus 1 factorial common. So we'll take that out. Then what happens is n minus r inge plus r. Okay. So n minus r plus r is simply n. So what do you get? N into n minus 1 factorial. Okay. What is n into n minus 1 factorial? Can somebody tell me what is n into n minus 1 factorial?
n factorial.
Yeah, correct. Very good. Okay. So this is a product of all the numbers up to n minus 1. So you multiply it by n, it's going to become n factorial. And what is the formula with what simplifies to this? N factorial by n minus r factorial is equal to
NCR.
NC.
Oh,
Okay. So we have derived it. This is a property or a identity given for you, that n minus 1 CR plus n minus 1 CR minus 1 is equal to NCR. Okay. So that is your option number 3. Okay, now this one. The number of ways of choosing 5 cards out of a deck of 52 cards, which includes at least one king. Last time நான் சொன்னேன், if there are the problems like at least one king, எப்படி போடலாம் அப்படின்னா, how many ways in which you can choose 5 cards totally, and how many ways in which you can choose 5 cards so that there is no king. Okay, so the no king எடுத்துட்டோம்னா at least one king வந்துரும், one or more kings. The other way of doing it is, how many ways in which you can choose with one king, two kings, three kings, four kings, but எல்லாத்தையும் add பண்றது. That is more laborious compared to the other method, in which you simply take the total number of ways in which you can draw 5 cards and eliminate the number of combinations in which there are no kings at all. So then rest of the combinations will have at least one king. Okay, so in 2 steps we can finish it off. The number of ways of choosing 5 cards, அது எவ்வளவு? Number of ways. So forget, for the time being, forget that, this king constraint. You simply, how many ways are there in which you can take 5 cards out of 52? That is 52 C5. Okay. So next question is the number of ways of choosing five cards out of 52 such that there are no kings. So how many ways are there for this? But no king அப்படின்னா, so how many cards are remaining without the king? So now you can't choose from all the 52.
48, sir.
So you have to choose from only 48 remaining cards. There are 4 kings, right? Out of 52, 4 kings are there. So those 4 kings we cannot choose. So that means only from the remaining 48 we have to choose. So how many combinations you can make out of 48? Is 48
C5.
48 C5. Good. So the total number of combinations 52 C5. King இல்லாதது 48 C5. So at least one king இருக்கிறது the balance, right? So balance. So 52 C5 la இந்த 48 C5 eliminate பண்ணிட்டா the remaining will be having at least one king. Option 4. The number of rectangles that a chessboard has.
So 1296, sir.
Very good. So how did you get that? 1296?
So that was the miscellaneous questions in my test book, sir.
Yeah, but how do you get the answer? How did you solve it? Because book is, the question is there in your book. But how can we solve this? It is not something that, it's a fact to be remembered. So we have to solve it, right? Okay. In your chessboard, every row has got how many squares? How many squares are there in every row?
8, sir.
8 squares.
8, sir.
So 8 squares are there, means how many lines are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is how the chessboard looks like. Okay. So how many vertical lines are there?
Ten, sir.
Count it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Only there are 9 lines, there will be 8 squares. Yeah. 8 squares are there, right? So there are only 9 lines. Vertical lines only. Okay. Similarly, how many horizontal lines?
9, sir.
9. So there are 9 vertical lines and 9 horizontal lines. So how squares are formed? For each horizontal line and each vertical line, there is 1 square. Not each. For any two. It took any 2 horizontal lines and any 2 vertical lines, there is going to be a square. Okay. Suppose you say you take this line, this line, this line, this line, you get this square. Okay. Suppose you take this line, I hope you are able to see, right? And this line, and this line, and this line, then you're going to get this rectangle. You're asked to count the rectangles, okay, not just squares. Okay. So for every 2 horizontal lines and every 2 vertical lines, there is going to be 1 rectangle, right? So the question boils down to, in how many ways you can choose 2 vertical lines from 9, how many ways you can choose 2 horizontal lines from 9. Okay. So for each of those combinations, you are going to get a rectangle. So in how many ways we can choose 2 vertical lines from 9? So out of 9, you have to choose 2, right? It can be like first line and second line, first line and third line, first line and fourth line, like that. So any 2 lines out of 9, so you get 9C2 such combinations. Similarly, 9C2 horizontal lines, 9C2 vertical lines, right? So each of the combination, you are going to get a unique rectangle. So 9C2 into 9C2. So what is the value of 9C2? Nine into 4, 36. 36 into 36. So 36 square is 1296. Okay. The number of 10-digit numbers that can be written by using the digits 2 and 3. Okay. So can you think and tell me? The number of 10-digit numbers that can be written using digits 2 and 3. So there is a 10-digit number. Okay. So it has got 10 places. So in every place, you can either put a 2 or a 3. Okay. So that way, how many ways you can fill this square or this line, this position? You can fill in two. So for each of that, you can fill in
2, sir.
2. So it goes on like that. So for every of these combinations, the next one can be again chosen in 2 ways and 2 ways. So how many it comes to?
20, sir.
20. This is 2 into 2 into 2.
No. 2 power 10, sir.
Yeah, it is 2 power 10. Okay.
1024, sir.
1024. Okay. So they are given the option as 2 power 10 itself. So that is what we will choose. Okay. Now, if PR stands for RPR, then the sum of series 1 plus P1 plus 2P2 plus 3P3 up to NPN. Then this is 1 plus P1 equal to, what they are saying, PR equal to RPR. Okay. So அதனால இது வந்து 1P1. அதே மாதிரி 2 into 2P2. They could have given like this itself. Okay. Somehow given in a little complicated way. But this is 3 into 3P3. So this is what we need to evaluate. And what is the formula for NPN? There are n objects. In how many ways you can arrange those n objects? So that will be n factorial. Okay, because the first position can be filled by any of the n objects. The second position can be filled by any of the remaining n plus 1 objects, and so on. So this then you can put in n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 and so on. So that will be n factorial ways. Okay. So that means this is 1 into, this 1P1 is 1 factorial. This is 2 into 2 factorial. N into n factorial. Okay. Is equal to plus 1. Okay. So either koncham manipulate panina, you can simplify it. So இது எப்படின்னா 1 factorial plus இது 2 into 2 factorial அப்படியே வச்சுக்கோம். 3 into 3 factorial, 4 into 4 factorial போகுது இல்லையா? 4 into 3 factorial. Just see how we can simplify.
18 factorial, sir.
1 minute. 18 factorial வருதா உங்களுக்கு? 2 minus 1 into 1. Then okay, so this is This is 1, right? 1 into 1 factorial. So that 1 we can write it as 2 minus 1. So in the 2, so this can be written as 3 minus 2. Okay, 1. Okay. And so on. Okay. One minute. Huh? So now what happens is this becomes 1 plus 2 into 1 factorial minus 1 factorial plus 3 into 2 factorial minus 2 factorial plus 4 into 3 factorial minus 3 factorial and so on. Now you have to use that factorial algebra like we said, right? What is 2 into 1 factorial? 1 factorial, when we multiply by 2, it becomes 2 factorial. Right? So what is 3 into 2 factorial?
3 factorial.
Right.
Factorial, sir.
So 4 into 3 factorial.
4 factorial.
Right. See, if you see, this is how it goes. That series goes like this. Next, it's going to be 5 factorial minus 4 factorial and so on. Okay. And so now you see how does it simplify this 2 factorial minus 1 factorial, 3 factorial minus 2 factorial, okay, and 4 factorial minus 3 factorial. So you see that all these things will get cancelled. Okay, this 2 factorial will get cancelled with this 2 factorial. Okay, only this 1 minus 1 factorial will get cancelled. 1 plus 2 into 1 factorial, 2 into 2 factorial. One minute. 1 into 1 factorial. So what will be the last term? Your first term remains as 1. Okay. Second term 1p1 became 2 factorial minus 1 factorial. Third term became 3 factorial minus 2 factorial. Okay. So that means the last term will become n factorial, because third term becomes 3 factorial minus 2 factorial. Fourth term becomes 4 factorial minus 3 factorial. Adamari last term will become n factorial minus n minus 1 factorial. Okay. So ipa pathona n factorial. So everything will get cancelled now, right? So this 1 minus 1 factorial, 2 and 2 factorial, 3 and 3, 3 factorial and 3 factorial, 4 factorial and 4 factorial. So everything will get cancelled up to this n minus 1 factorial varaikkum cancel aidum. Okay. So what will finally remain is only n factorial. Just check this. Let me see. The second term is I made a mistake. Okay. See, Can you find out what the mistake I did? See, this 1p1 has become 2 factorial minus 1 factorial. Okay, this 2 into 2p2 has become 3 factorial minus 2 factorial. So you see the n plus 1 is coming. That's what I missed. Okay, 3 into 3p3 became 4 factorial minus 3 factorial and so on. So the last term will be n plus 1 factorial into n factorial. So here everything up to n factorial will cancel, and what you will get is n plus 1 factorial. So what is that option, n plus 1 factorial, in this given options?
First option, sir.
First option, because p n plus 1 is n plus 1 p n plus 1, which is n plus 1 factorial. So the others are not like that. Okay, so it is option 1. Let's look at this. The product of first n odd natural numbers, that is 1, first n odd natural numbers number 1 into 3 into 5 into 7 into so on. This is first is 1, second is 3, third is 5, and so on. So what is the nth term in this? Be 2n minus 1. This is கொஞ்சம் careful plus 1 minus 1 கொஞ்சம் careful. Okay. So because it starts from 1 and first n it starts from 1. N numbers the nth term will become 2n minus 1. So you can use your AP formula also. Okay. So the n terms, A is 1 and D is 1, and put the formula, you'll get that 2n minus 1. The product of, so இதை நம்மளால பார்த்தா கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமா இருக்க மாதிரி இருக்கு. So how do you get this product அப்படின்ட்டு? So இந்த மாதிரி இருந்துச்சுன்னு என்ன பண்ணலாம்? So you see that the 2, 4, etc. are missing, right? So you insert those. Okay. இதை அப்படியே போட்டுப்போம், கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ண வேணாம். To make it like a complete factorial, we have to put into 2, 4, 6 up to 2n. Okay. So இப்போ நம்ம இது factorial எழுதிடலாம். So that is the idea. Okay. So but if you multiply by something, you have to divide it also by the same thing, right? 2 into 4 into 6. So now you see the numerator, what it becomes. It has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, everything up to 2n. So it becomes simply 2n factorial. You should not write 2n factorial. So you have to put a bracket, right? 2n whole factorial. Okay. So numerator becomes 2n whole factorial divided by. இப்போ இதை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 2 into 4 into 6. So in every term, you can take a 2 out. It's like 2 into 1 factorial. So this is how it is, right? So now you can take all these 2's out. So how many such 2's are there? N 2's are there. So that will become 2 to the power of n. Numerator na update edikren. So you take out n times 2, which is 2 to the power of n. Then what remains is 1 into 2 into up to n. That means 2n factorial divided by 2 power n into n factorial. Okay. So which option corresponds to that? 2n factorial divided
Option
by
2, sir.
option 2. Option 2. 1 by 2 whole to the power of n. 2n cn. Okay. 2n cn 1 minute into npn. Right. That works. Okay. Because we have to write it down. Let us verify that. Let's verify that. What is your second option? 1 by 2 power n corresponds to this 2 power n. And you have 2n cn. Into npn. இதே எழுதிக்கிறேன் 1 by 2 power n. This is equal to 2n cn is 2n whole factorial divided by 2n minus n, n factorial into n factorial, and npn is n factorial. So 1 n factorial will get cancelled, and you see what we have matches with 1 by 2 power n, 2n whole factorial by n factorial. So therefore, this is the correct answer. Option 2. Okay. N4, NC3, and NC6, these three are in AP, the value of n can be what? What is the value of n? So write the formula for these three and put the condition for AP. Okay. Yeah, Jakam, Tejaswini, right? So tell me, Tejaswini. You want to say something? Tejaswini, you raised your hand, right? Okay. So here, what is the formula for NC4? N factorial by n minus 4 factorial into 4 factorial. Okay. So this is where NC4. And what is the formula for NC6?
N factorial by n minus 6 factorial into 6 factorial.
Three terms are in AP. The condition is that the sum of the first and third term should be equal to twice the middle term. Okay, so this is the equation that we get. Okay, so sum of the first and the third term is equal to twice the middle term. This is the condition for the three terms to be in AP. So கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடி போட்டோம் இல்லையா? So you are adding up two terms, two fractions involving the factorials. What do? You put the bigger number, find the LCM, and the LCM will be, so n minus 6 factorial, n minus 4 factorial, the bigger one is n minus 4 factorial. அதே மாதிரி 4 ஃபேக்டோரியல் 6 ஃபேக்டோரியல்ல பிக்கர் ஒன் இஸ் 6 ஃபேக்டோரியல். ஸோ இது மாதிரி கீழே போட்டோம்னா, ஸோ இப்போ இதுல வந்து what simply remains is when you divide the LCM by the first denominator, n minus 4 factorial gets cancelled out, and what you get is only 5 into 6. Similarly, here the 6 factorial will get cancelled, and what you get is only n minus 5 into n minus 6. Because n minus 4 factorial divided by n minus 6 factorial. So all terms up to n minus 4 are eliminated. So what remains is n minus 4 and n minus 5. Okay. Sorry, the tapa putta minus 4. Okay. Into n factorial. This is equal to 2 into n factorial divided by n minus 5 factorial into 5 factorial. Okay. So here 30 n factorial plus n minus 5 into n minus 4 so we can cancel out one n factorial. Okay. So here there is n minus 4 factorial, and here there is n minus 5 factorial. So multiply both sides by n minus 5 factorial. What you will get is here only n minus 4 will remain. This n minus 5 factorial will get cancelled out. Similarly, multiply both sides by the bigger number, right, which is 6 factorial. This will get cancelled. Here 6 will come. Okay. So I write the equation. This n factorial is common, right? So you can take out that common, and that will also go away. So all these 3 n factorials will get cancelled out. So what remains now is 30 plus n minus 5 into n minus 4. So here also this n minus 4 will get cancelled, right? So what remains is only 30 plus n minus 4. Sorry. Whole divided by n minus 4, and all it won't go. Okay, 30 plus n minus 5 into n minus 4 whole divided by n minus 4 is equal to, so here what remains is only 12. So you get an equation in n now, 30 plus n minus 5, n square minus 9n plus 20 equal to 12 into n minus 4, 12n minus 48. So you simplify this, you get a quadratic in n. Minus 21n. So here 30 plus 20 is equal to plus 48, so plus 98 equal to 0. So that is n minus 7 into n minus 14. So 14 sevens are 98. So 7 plus 14 is 21. So you get n equal to 7 or 14. So it can be 7 or 14. So 14 is given there. So that is your option that you have to choose. Okay. After that, you can verify also 14C4 and 14C5 and 14C6, whether they are in AP. We can even calculate and verify. Similarly, 7C4, 7C5, 7C6 also you can check it out. But by solving, this is what we get, 7 or 4. So option number 1. The last question, 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus up to 17. That is simply arithmetic progression. Okay, there's nothing to do with counting. I don't know, it is given in your permutation and combination. This is simply arithmetic progression. So we can write down the formula and solve it. I request you to do this. This is a very easy problem. So 1 to 17, how many terms are there?
17, sir.
9 terms, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11,
Yes.
13, 15, 17. 9 terms, right? So A equal to 1, D equal to 2, N equal to 9, last term equal to 17. Okay, if these 4 are there, the sum of this series will be N into A plus L divided by 2. Okay. Take the average of the A and L and simply multiply it by the number of terms. So that is all you have to do. Okay. So what is your N here? 9 terms. A plus L is 18 divided by 2. So 9 into 9. So this sum will be is equal to 81. Okay. Option 2. Okay. So now I wanted to do more, but we've been going slow. Okay. So let us stop here. Okay. And I am going to send these problems to you. Okay. So I have taken these problems. These are also very straightforward problems only. See, these problems from the NCERT book. Okay. So next week we will do these problems. Okay. Meanwhile, I request you all to try these problems and come. So that it will be easy in the next class, so you can follow more easily. Okay, so we'll solve these problems from NCERT book. These 5, 6 problems I chose, just as a sample. There are more problems in NCERT book also. I think you all should have a copy of NCERT book. It's easily downloadable from online, so you can try to work on more problems. But these are some problems in that your book, NCERT book. And I took a couple of problems there. I want to do more problems from JEE also. But once you are comfortable with your book problems and NCERT book problems, then we can go to JEE problems. So next week we'll continue with these problems. But meanwhile, I'm going to send the whole thing to you, and you please try these problems on your own. Okay? Right. Okay. Thank you all then. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
கண்ணு அல்லது உடம்புக்கு பண்ணும்போது லேசர் பண்ணும். அந்த லைட் அந்த லேசருடைய அந்த ஃபுல் ஃபார்ம் என்னன்னா லைட் ஆம்பிளிஃபிகேஷன் என்னமோ வரும், எஸ்சிஆர்னு வரும். லைட் ஆம்பிளிஃபிகேஷன் அப்படி வரும். லேசருடைய எக்ஸ்பேன்ஷன் LASER இல்லையா, அந்த LASERக்கு லைட் ஆம்பிளிஃபிகேஷன் ஸ்டிமுலேஷனா என்னமோ ஏதோ வரும், அந்த மாதிரி ரேடியேஷன் வரும். அது அதாவது அப்படியே நேர் கோட்ல போகும். இப்ப நம்ம லைட் இந்த டார்ச் லைட் எல்லாம் அப்படி விரிஞ்சு போகுது இல்லையா, அப்படி இல்லை, நேர் கோட்ல கரெக்டா அந்த புள்ளி போய் படுன்னா அங்க புள்ளி போய் படும். அந்த மாதிரி அது இண்டஸ்ட்ரியலி இருக்கு. இப்ப இது ஐ சர்ஜருக்கு லேசர் ரொம்ப பாப்புலர். அதெல்லாம் பண்ணலாம், அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் பெரிய ஒரு